There we go. You can probably hear me now. Whoopsie. All right, let me go back through this to show you, Hoopster. I'll show you how to do your glass for you. You hear me now, Hoopster? Let me know. I had my bot set up, hooked up. That's why. All right, so let me restart. Set up glass. What you're going to want to do, I'll restart from the beginning. AXD deletes everything. All right, if you don't know that, Hoopster. Now what you're going to do, Shift A, that adds meshes. What we're going to do is go to Mesh, Plane. This gives us a flat plane. You could do a cube, you could do a sphere, you could do whatever. You could do a ball, right? Transparent ball if you wanted. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a material to this object, all right? So to add a material to it, we go to this little red sphere down here at the bottom, click that, and then you're going to have this uh, white checkered sphere. Click that and add this material. When you do that, you're going to go to the color. The color is going to be an image. So click that little yellow circle. That brings up image texture, right? And when you press that, you'll have this new and open section opened up underneath the base color. We're going to go to open and we're going to download whatever texture that you're wanting to put in there. Earlier, I had downloaded a texture I got off the internet that AI generated. So I'm just putting something random together for you, but essentially we just attach whatever you want to it. To see the texture, we're going to press X, not X, Z. Press Z and go down to material preview. When you do that, you'll be able to see your material, all right? Now, to make this transparent, if we just put this into meta, it's not going to come out transparent. So in order to make it transparent, what I'm going to do is I'm going to name the object transparent. So we're going to go glass underscore capital T for transparent. What? Trans. All right, so we have our name of our object underscore transparent with a capital T. All right. Once we do that, if we want it shiny, we can mess around with these metallic and roughness factors down here at the bottom, right? I don't really care for shininess sometimes, so I'm just gonna make it simple for you and just make it transparent. And then, so once we've messed with those little shiny factors, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this FBX, we're gonna save it um, as an FBX. All right, so you're going to go to export FBX, and I already had one set up, so glass. All right, glass FBX, that's it. Then you're going to go to UV editing or texture map. Either one doesn't matter. And we're going to save the image. So go to image, save as, and what you want to do is you want to save it as, did I say this earlier? I don't think I did. I was talking. So anyway, you're going to save it as glass underscore br, all right? Just like you'd save any texture, but we're gonna need two textures for this one. So the br is just to show what the texture looks like, all right? So underscore br, make sure it's a PNG. And now we're gonna make the second texture. The second texture is gonna tell the object how transparent it is. So the way we do that is we're gonna go, I think we have to go to texture paint. Does it matter? No, it doesn't. So we're going to press this X button. You might need to open this, side shift this over or go up here and scroll to the left. But once you find this little X menu up here at the top, um, next to your texture, you'll just exit out of it and create a new. And then we're going to call this glass underscore MESA. Okay. And then I just dropped these to 32 pixels. I don't know if it helps, but I just do it because I feel like it does. Then we're going to go to the color and we're going to go to RGB and we're going to, this is the important part. I think this gives you color. This gives you like if you're how would you say it? If it's lit or not. So if you want it bright, you turn this up. If you don't want it so bright, you turn it down, right? And then this is like opacity, I think. So like if you have it all the way down, it's gonna be dark. If you have it all the way up, it'll be white, like the right color. And then this is your actual transparency. So the more down you go, the more invisible it is, the more, the full, closer to 0, invisible, closer to 1, visible. All right, super simple. So you can mess around with these. I like to keep it around 60 to 70 to make it transparent. We'll do 70-ish. And then I like to keep this about here. And then all this, everything else is good. So you're able to create a new image. And once you have that image, we're going to go to image, save as, and then it's already named for us. glass_mesa PNG, save it to, I'm going to save it to my desktop. And then when I go to bring it in, you can bring it in on the website, or you can bring it in here. You're going to go to add new 3D model, choose file. I'm going to use my glass. So I have my glass mesa, glass_br, and my glass FBX. Bring that in. You can leave the pivot set up. Just wait for it to update. Finish this. Go back here. The heck? Oh, I'm stuck on coin. All right, so we have our glass. That is not glass. That's a sword. There's no way. There we go. All right, so there you go. So now you have glass. That's how you do glass. If you mess with that alpha factor that I was showing you earlier, in the color variable thing, you'll be able to change the transparency of the glass. Does that help you, Hoopster? Super easy, super easy. I don't know if Wowzer is yes, I get it. Uh, you already forgot. Yeah, the live will be up anyway, so you'll be able to find it late. Like, you'll be able to look at all that stuff later on anyway. If any other questions, I'm gonna be doing this, so just let me know. Let's see. These swords are trash. Do I have a Skydome tutorial? Yeah, look, I'll do a Skydome tutorial for you right now. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Let's see if we can make you one. If I can make you one, I'll drop it for you. What were you wanting? Green grass? Something like that, right? Let's see. Look, this is another thing you might have not have done. Oh, you found the perfect. Okay, I got you. Is it 360 though? That's the problem, right? Blue sky, green grass. All right, let's see. I'll do this, and then while it's generating, I'll show you how to put it on the inside of a sphere, your image. Uh, blue sky, green grass. Oops. This is something else you might want to look at. Whenever you're generating a sky dome, you have these little sections over here that you can mess with that really help out with like the water underneath the ground and stuff like that. I noticed. This one doesn't have water underneath it because I used open world, I think. I've only been messing with it a little bit, so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that could be another reason why. So I'll generate a couple of these. Let's see. Photorealistic. Oh, how the fuck do you spell prairie? Open prairie? Man, I freaking have a hard time spelling this morning. We're gonna say field. How about that? Because I did not want to say prairie. All right. So to put your image on the inside of a sphere, I usually use a website sometime. It's called Skybox AI. This thing, bro. If you want spheres, this is where to get spheres, bro. Because you just you. I think it's. Let's see. What's the pricing? Membership. $24 a month. You get 100 generations. Man, I used to get way more than that. They used to give me like 250. 250 generations. They whack. They be slacking lately. But anyway, you end up let's see, explore. You can end up finding this site, generating a bunch of domes. You take those or pictures for the domes, they're 360 images, right? Like here's your green grass, blue skies. No, I'm joking. But you're able to generate them, and then when you download them, you take them into Blender. Let me start a new one for you. Uh, General, save. All right. AXD deletes everything. And then you want to press Shift A. Bring in a sphere, UV sphere, right? And then this is where it's going to get a little tough for you. I grab that bottom one and then I go up to the top. There's this little, what's it called? Target symbol thing you'll see here. Click that. then you'll press G, Z, and start to slowly go up while scaling this. And you'll get this kind of this. I'm trying to show you the simplest way of doing it, but essentially when you'll be able to, when you scale it, what I let me click on this target is kind of just like a is like a grab the surrounding area type thing, and whenever you G is like a moving button, right? You press G to move. So when you have those two things combined, you can move the area around it, right? Around the section you've selected. You're going to do that plus Z, which moves it on the Z axis. And then when you scale it up or scale down, you can, grab more or less of the shape, right? Or more or less of the surrounding area. And when you do that, you can end up creating this teardrop kind of thing, right? And you'll do it until you get what you find you're satisfied with, right? Now, to get rid of these lines, you can do something where what I like to do is when I make my sphere, and this is all up to the person who creates it, because the more of these you add, the heavier it is on your world geometrics wise. All right, so Shift A, sphere, and when you make the sphere, go down to Add Sphere, and you can add sections, segments, and rings, and this will just make it look cleaner on your world. Like it won't be so choppy looking. All right, so we'll do 30 rings, 48 segments, and then I'll go into edit mode, which is just tab, grab that bottom one, make sure the target's enabled, press G, Z, make sure I'm scaled to the size I want, make the little teardrop jelly thing, right? And then I'll add the texture. So to add the texture, remember to go to the little checkered sphere, the white checkered sphere, material, base color, image texture, open, and then I might, here look, I have one in here, projects, nope, edit files, nope, my assets, maybe, yeah, here we go, might be down here, no, here we go, yeah, so I have one of mine, put it on there, press that, gosh, I always do X, Z, go down to material preview, and then you'll see it in there on the background, right? So that'll be how you put the image on there. Now the last thing that you need to do to make sure that, because what happens is if you take this into a world, it's only going to be showing on the outside. We want it to show on the inside. To make sure that it shows on the inside, we're going to go back into edit mode by pressing tab, or you can go up here and press edit mode, right? But tab is easier. Press tab, and then you're going to want to press A to select all. Go up here to mesh, or before we go to mesh, let's go over here to these, see these two little dot or circles, one's white and one's black, and they're intersecting. We're going to press that drop down window, go down to face orientation, and it's all blue. That's because it's showing, everything's showing outside. If we go inside, it's all red. That's because the inside of a face is not visible, it's red. So we're going to make sure it's all selected by pressing A. That means all. We're going to go to mesh, go down to normals, and go to flip. So when we flip it, you'll notice the whole thing goes red. The reason being is the outside is now facing in and the inside's facing out. All right, so all those faces are now, the face of all these individual faces are now facing inside. So when we're inside, we'll see it from here. Sorry, I had to text somebody back. So now that we have the inside facing in or outside facing in, what we're going to do is we're going to save the whole object. Make sure that this is named, whatever you'd like. I'm going to name it dome. All right, doesn't need to be named anything special. File, export, FBX, dome to my desktop. Desktop, I like to save it because it's easier. You see it, you can delete it once you're done with it. UV map, image, save as, desktop. And we're going to name this dome underscore BR. All right, that needs to be on there. Make sure that it's a PNG because sometimes those files that you use from outside aren't going to be a PNG. So make sure it's a PNG. You convert it to a PNG. Save image. And then whenever we go into our desktop editor to add it, go to 3D model, choose file. Let's see, dome. Where is it? Here we go. Dome texture, dome FBX. You can preserve the pivot. We'll just wait for that to upload. Let's see. And these domes never generated. Come on. Why is it taking so long? There we go. All right, let's see. So, oh, there you go. Now it's dark in this environment, but if you make your environment bright, you can see the whole thing. Again, the live will be available for you later, Hoopster too. So you can just go back to this part and just keep messing with it until you get it. How do you make it bright? So, it's just this environment box that I have is dark. See, this is the normal brightness. You got it? Got any questions? Hey, you don't gotta send tip, dog. I was doing this anyway. How do I get rid of this giant thing now? All right, cool. Too late. Thanks, bro. Thank you, thank you. All right. I might need to close this app. It is not working right. Let's go back to desktop editor, and then we'll come back. Oh, I quit it. All right, let's go here. I don't need this no more. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to need to generate any of these. I don't think. So I'm probably going to do some of the scripting next. All right. So let's see. The game is going to be collecting the coins. Collect enough coins to go on to the next part of the game. So what we'll do is we're gonna use AI for this as well, just to make it easier on some of the people. Oh, bro, I can't do tutorials on clothes. I can't do tutorials on clothes, bro. Not until they give it out to the rest of the community, really. Unfortunately, that's something that's hush hush on our end. But I got you. To sell it. Did you get into the partner program? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, Hoopster? If you're part of the partner program, I can explain that to you later. Oh, yeah. No, dude. I got you. When you do get into it, I'll help you out. I'll tell you how. I just can't make a tutorial on it because that's something that's like the stuff that I go over in here is pretty much for the, I mean, it's for the general public to know about it. The store stuff is stuff that you need to be part of the program to be able to like use those types of things. So that's the only issue. Yeah. All right. So let's make a script for this. I think probably make like a general script, and then from there I'll go use this other AI generating or this other like coding software to make something, kind of make it a little better. Because Because what I've noticed is with Meta's AI, at least in here, if you've downloaded the TypeScript, which one is it? It's this one down here. Visual Studio Code Setup. I think they have an AI as well. That's what Meta tells you to download. I downloaded it. I didn't use their AI. I used this other one, Windsurf. It's really good. So we'll be using the AI to kind of make a script today. A lot of people have a hard time scripting, so this is going to end up turning into an asset for those who don't know too much about scripting. But it is easy to get lost, all right? Very, very easy to get lost and not know where you're going with the scripting. As AI develops, I'm sure it'll get better though, all right? So we're going to write a script, and the script is going to be when we pick up an object, we get a point registered to us, and we only need to collect a certain amount of points in order to go on to the next place. This is supposed to be kind of a game of counting. The kids are supposed to be counting, so we're gonna do. Yeah, this is a kids game technically. I forgot to say that, or I might have said that, but I was also muted earlier. But anyway, so kids game. The game is to count a certain amount of coins, certain amount of gold chalices, a certain amount of whatever we end up making them collect. So what we want to start off with is can you create a script? Oh my goodness. Create a script that records picks up item. So we want it to record when it picks up an item, and then after the item's picked up, should it be recorded or should it be create a script that records when a player picks up an item. Oops. So far I have can you create a script that records when a player picks up an item and gives them a point when they move it to a set location. So what we're wanting them to do is grab something, move it to grab it at point A, move it to point B, get a point. When they've collected so many points, they're able to go on to the next spot. And we're going to also do like multiple sections, right? So you have to pick up 8 chalices, 3 gold coins, and 6 gems or whatever, right? And whenever you do that, you're able to go into the next match. So the item is not taken to location and does and is released. Move the object back to original location and rotation. So essentially we're adding, let's say somebody logs out, crashes, whatever, with the item in their hands. Whenever they go to drop it off, we want it to return back to where it was, just so it's not, either floating in midair or whatnot. See what that gives us. Because that's just the basic. After that, we can start to branch off from there. All right. So aha. So persistent variable. So it's setting a persistent variable, point variable in the player's persistent storage. Pretty sure that's what it's saying. Yeah, this current point. Prop, yeah. So we need to add player variable points. Add that. Okay. So it's going to record the persistent variable. So this could be a continuous game script right there. That's pretty cool. If the item is not within the distance of the threshold, the script moves it back to the original position rotation. Good. Grab on start, grab on end, code block events to detect it. To use the script, create a new script in your world and paste the code above. Attach the script to the entity in your world. In the properties panel, set the property entity you want to track. Alright, let's try it. Yeah, it didn't do it. Damn. So I'm copying and pasting it into the editor. Now it should, I'm gonna make sure it saves. Close this. This should work now. So now if we go over here, I don't know how this is supposed to be set up, to be honest. I think it said something about attaching it to an empty object. Yeah. And in the properties panel of that, you can set the item. So let's see. Empty object. Attach script. Oh, whoa. They put, whoa. Interesting. Alright, let's see. Let's say this is my ear. All right. Let's say grabbable. Okay, and then gold chalice. Where's that empty object? Gold chalice. We're gonna just say what should we put? I don't know what to put. Well, I'm just gonna move this. It's just to test it. What is this called? Treasure chest. Alright. Fail! Didn't take it back to its original location. Maybe it's because I don't have the persistent variable. Let's look. Oh no, there we go. It wasn't on, that's why. Alright, so the chalice goes back to where it needs to go whenever I let go. Same rotation, that's good. Now what happens if we take it over here? Alright. I don't know what happens. Alright, so we're gonna ask it to now add can you add to the +1 Alright, so I just added give me a pop-up and force release whenever you enter the radius. This should allow us to kind of see, make sure that it's actually being done. The player grabs an item, the script stores the item. When the player releases the item, the script checks the items within inside the script continuously checks between the item and the target location. Alright, so Copy that. Cool. So now we should have that. Where's that? Is that dang empty? So I don't lose it. Take that chalice. Nope. What? Maybe it's not connected anymore. Yeah. Huh. What happened? Change. That's what it was. All right. Now we Gucci. Where's? What the hell? Where'd it go? So if I let go of it, cool. Cool. All right. We go over here. Nothing happens. Why? Okay, so what I added was when the player enters, or when the object enters the trigger, to do it instead of the target, because that was too much. That's too much. It's being tracked. Yep, item, we'll name it. So essentially, I asked it to when the player, instead of when when player takes object to target, right? The item to the target, so the chalice to the treasure chest. Whenever the player takes it there, instead of it being from one place to the one location to the other, I'm doing take the chalice and enter the trigger. Once you enter the trigger, and the chalice enters the trigger, the chalice will now be released and the point will be given to the player. And all it's saying is make sure that the item is tagged as item. Same thing with the trigger. When the item is grabbed, its original location and rotation is stored. If it's released and not inside the trigger, it'll be moved back to its original location. If it's inside the trigger, the player is given a point. Also make sure to set the target trigger. Wait, what? We'll see. We'll see. Let's see how this one acts. Oh, there's an error. What is this? Man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just use this. I'm gonna use my AI now. Forget this. Forget this, brother. Alright. Let's use the AI to add this. So we have this. This is the last thing we've had. So it's taking it from point A to point B and then giving us a pop up. Now instead of, oh man, hold on. Alright. So instead of it being from point A to point B, we want it to be a trigger whenever the object enters a trigger. So what I like about this is I can reference they automatically comments where I can reference all of these. I like that it's also more descriptive. A lot more descriptive. To update your script as requested, I will replace the logic that checks the item is within inside the radius. When the item enters the trigger, award the player a point. Reference the types from the core. See, that's why I like it more. Hold on. Alright. So now enters, replace, I've updated the script. However, there's an error. Okay. Alright, let's see. Usually they connect, but I don't know why they're not connecting, man. What? Hold on. Bro, what the hell is it connected right now? It is. So did it do it? Oh, dude, I'm so confused. I am not 100% sure that worked, to be honest. I didn't know they were connected. I guess they're connected now. For some reason they weren't earlier. Let's see, build gizmo trigger box. Rotate it. What's the item I think they wanted? Nope. Alright, let's see. See if we can figure it out. It's doing that. Go back here. Do okay, so it's adding the pop-ups. So it added pop-ups for us to make sure. Okay, so what are the pop-ups gonna say? You'll see pop-ups when the player pop up for the shows. Test. Okay. pretty sure I said it, but then again, yeah. Trigger on players. That's why. What a silly boy. Oh my gosh. No, still nothing. No, that wasn't it. Wait, was it? Oh my gosh. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay, okay, I said whoops. I thought it was, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. What a silly guy. No, still nothing. Come on, man. Okay, so we got item there. Objects tag. We got item there. Yeah, what the heck? Hmm. Okay, let's look at this. See if that fixes it. So what we're doing is we're changing it from the empty object to the actual trigger. Ton of errors still. What did you do? Bro, I'm about to ask you to rewrite this damn script, man. Dude, what the hell? It just did not delete that stuff. I don't know why. Wait, what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright. So, alright. Accept all. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm getting an error with it. Before even testing it, I was getting this error. Oh my gosh. have this get score at? Huh. Should be good now. Nope. Oh. Maybe that's why. Wasn't a real script. Let's go here. Gold chalice. Alright, so we wrote a script that should, let's see. There you go. So it just doesn't, we get an error for not being able to set the points. The reason why we can't set the points is because we don't have it in our persistent variable. So I'm gonna make a persistent variable for it real quick. Variable group, create. We're gonna just call this pirate counting cove. That's what we'll call the name. We're just gonna call it, and then head to world. Don't need a description. Create variable. We're gonna take this, we're gonna copy that, go into our code. Go into the code, find where it's being saved. Where's it being saved? All right, so I'm asking it to save it to this because I can't see where it's being saved. I have no idea where it's being saved. What? Yeah, you guys aren't doing that. It's not, nah. Yeah, come on. Yeah, it had it funky, but it fixed it. Variable name. Oh, cool. All right. All right, we got that set. So now we should be able to get our point from it now. Should see that error. Bing. Cool. So now when I look up in my variables, should have 1. Yep, I got one chalice. Look at that. So with a combination of both AIs, we were able to make a script. So where are we at? We're at 2 hours, maybe a little over 2 hours. And we have the premise of the world set up. We have an AI generated script for, collecting an item, bringing it back to the treasure chest. You get so many points. All right. Now what we want to add is maybe we do a door opens up. Yeah. Um, all right. So all I said was add to the script to, or add or create that once the player collects so many objects, a door will open up into another area. See how it does with that. Let's see what it says. Great. Next step is track how many items are collected in total. When the set amount is reached, move a door from point A to point B. Any participating players who contributed to collecting should trigger to this event. Correct. Add a world global variable to track the total number of items collected when a player collects an item. Increment to the counter if the total is reached. Move the door should be an entity with two positions, point A, point B. Start and open. Optional, keep track of which players participate for further object or rewards. Correct. Question. Should the total count reset after the door moves? One-time event. One-time event. We'll figure that out later. Should the door move for all players or just for those who participate? Should the door move instantly over time? Yep. What's the entity name? Alright, next step. They don't have a show pop-up for all players. Just reviewing the script. Okay, attach a script to the trigger entity. Item. Required count. Assign door. Set point A to point B. Okay, so I just added to move the door over time, just because that's going to be important. To remove the one that's AI generated, you're going to, like, are you talking about the environment? The thing that's like, it's like massive? That's what you're talking about. You'll just end up clicking, you'll go to your environment box and just turn it off. You can delete it even. There might be an environment box inside your world. If it's inside your world, it's probably at 0, 0. So what you also might need to do, watch, what you could do is go here, scroll through here until you found this, or type in here, environment. Oops. So you type that in, you click this, and you just delete it. And you should be able to delete it that way. Let's see what this did. Alright, let's see. Over 2 seconds, okay? Alright, so let's see if this hooks up. Cool. Glad you got that fixed. Let's see. Man, I don't like that. Can you set the So it was asking for a vector. I didn't want to use a vector because it's not going to be easy to move around. So what I'm going to just do is use object properties so that the door will just move to their locations instead of a set vector. If you see inside of here, it wants me to set the vectors. That's way too much. What if I want to put multiple doors, which is what I want to do. I want it to be where there's multiple treasure chests. The kids have to collect a certain amount of treasure for each treasure chest, and then the doors will open. Right. Alright, so it looks like we have that set. So now we just need a door. My AI generated door right quick. Do shoot, I forgot about these. Yeah, we don't care about that no more. No, we'll do. See how that works. Alright, so we have item, right, we have this. Required count. It's going to generate a door for me. I'm going to go ahead and set up how I want this. So we'll use more of these. Alright. Let's do these doors. Man, you couldn't give me just a door? We're going to do slabs. How about that? That might do it. Okay. It's better. It's way better. I'm going to do this one. See how this comes out. Alright, let me save it to my save that. Where the heck did it put me? Why does it do that? Dude, I don't know where the heck I am. There we go. Why can't I move? Scale this baby out. Cool. Spin it. Cool. Alright, so what is this called? Temple slab. So we'll go here, get out of this. Let's see, go here, door. Huh? What? What is that thing called? Temple slab. What? It don't make sense. That's weird. It was mesh. Alright, so we got the mesh set up, and now we need to do so. We're gonna say empty. All right. Switch it up so that point A would be recorded for the door's position at world start. All right. Very good. Very good. Point B is going to be point B. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so now what should happen is whenever I collect 5 gold chalices, that door should open. 1. Boing. 2. 3. Whoa. Got spun around there. 4. And last one. Let's see if it works. 5. Yep, look at that. Yo. Yo. Door open, guys. Look at that. AI generated script done in less than 2 hours. We got ourselves a little mini game right there. All right. AI generated everything up in here other than my stuff. That came out really good. Go a little bit longer. I'm gonna cut this off at like a little over 3 hours. I'm not gonna do more than 3, 4. All right. So we got that set up. Now what we want to do. Let me look at my notes. Got the design set up. We got the script. We got the textures. Collecting stuff. Yep, we got all. I mean, we did pretty much everything I wanted to cut down on. So, got our script to open the door up. Door opens after collecting 5. I think I need to do now a UI for the collected items. So, what we're going to do is to okay. All right, so what we're adding to the script is since the door opens, we have the door opening, everything set up. Now we want a visual representation of what is needed. So whenever they enter this zone, it's going to say, 0 of 5 chalices collected or something like that. We're going to see what this ends up creating for us. Door progress UI. It's making a UI for us. Let's make sure we have everything in all the APIs accounted for. So it looks like we do. Okay, it's messing with our scripts. Just having a hard time with this world one. Okay, now it's working on the door. He's really trying to fix these errors. There's one left here in the trigger. We've got a couple in here. Just fix the trigger, man. Fix the trigger. Okay, so the door they fixed. I mean, not the door. It's working on the UI. What do you mean? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what it did here, so I'm gonna go back. I don't like what it did. Revert everything. Let's go. Let's see. It just added a bunch of gibberish. Let's see. UI. Alright, revert that. And then what we're gonna do, delete this. What we're gonna do is use, and then we're gonna drag this stuff in. Use core and UI. Alright. So we're gonna use that as the info. It's gonna give us the correct terminology. Which should come together a little way easier than the first one that we just did. Let's go back here. What do we want to generate? Let's think. Sure, I don't know. Let's see. You know what? Let's use yeah. We definitely using this guy. Let's see what it did. So that should fix the errors. Look at that. Let's see if it worked. Oh, dude, that guy scared me, bro. I forgot who's there. Alright, so. Man, why does it put us randomly? Alright, so. Is there anything we need to do specifically? Summary, all signature, color, matches, types. Let's go here. Alright. I don't know if I need to do anything specifically. So I'm going to add a UI, Gizmo, custom UI. Add the UI counter, required 5. Okay, so we're getting an error there. So we're going to take this error, we're going to copy it, and place it in here. You know what, actually. See what it gives us back. Okay. Let's see. Oh, look at that. So now we'll put that there, there, there. Items needed. 0. Huh? I feel like there's something missing. Alright. I don't know if this will even do anything, but let's see. Nothing happened. So I'm just telling it whenever the world starts, it's at 0 and there's no change whenever I enter. I will update the script to get a getter for the next property. Just asking it if it could go use a reference number from the trigger instead of its own. Maybe that'll fix it. Um, Come on. It's that last one. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's test this. It is not. What are all those numbers it's putting up in there? Okay, here we go. Fix that, please. All right, let's see. Having some errors. Let's fix them. Okay, so added. I don't understand why. Why is it doing that? Hmm. I'll probably have to mess with that script a little more because it is not liking it. And it is not wanting to get rid of that. A mess of words on there, man. Let's see, we'll try one more thing. One more thing. Okay, it's better. Let's see what happens. Okay, copy. And this. Debug. Oops. This one. Was it? Hold on. Is this? Does this show? No, it doesn't even show. Alright, let's see if that fixes it. I mean, at least it's not stacking. Alright, so this is happening. This debug, oops, bug is play, what UI is. We're gonna try to wrap this up here in a second to see. Come on. Getting close. I can feel it. Bro, what you do? Bro, why'd you do that? Alright. Wait, hold up. Maybe it's getting there. Nope. I might have to look at the script a little more. But we pretty much got something set up to where it's not going to show it on here, unfortunately. I need to work with the AI a little, with the UI a little more. Because the UI is the issue. But if we collect 5 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we got 1 more. If we do 1 more, then that door should open, hopefully. Yeah, see, door's opening. The only thing is that UI is not updating, so I need to work on that UI a little more, but that's pretty much what I'm gonna leave it at for today. Spent a couple hours on something like this. You guys can put together pretty quick worlds, especially if you know the direction you're going in. You don't need to use AI. I'm just using AI just to mess with it. I have a bunch of friends who might not be too much into the scripting, but if you know scripting, man, you're gonna go a lot faster. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna end up probably working on this a little more on another time, but until then, I will.